All right, so before we get started, this journey has been incredible for me. I have learned so much about myself. It has made me a better person. And if you follow along, if you're watching this, thank you so much for supporting me. It means the world to me. Please like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
What is up, everybody? It is peak week officially. We are 1 week out from the show. My hair is a mess. It is 5:30 in the morning, and I am in a rush because I gotta hit a flight. But I will see you when I land. Alrighty, we are back in Arizona. Just got off the flight a couple hours ago. Drove down an hour from Phoenix down to Tucson. That's where my show is. That's where I'm from. But I'm pretty fucking exhausted, honestly. So we'll be going over the whole plan for peak week soon. But for now, I'm gonna go hit a nice little pull workout with my buddies. As you can see, we're looking pretty lean. Face is a bit sunken. Definitely look like I have not seen the outside world for a while. I look like a fucking gremlin right now. But I'm excited. Get to work out with my buddies again. After that, we'll get into this whole peaking plan, how we're going to deal with this peak week, because peak week is a very interesting thing, especially for naturals, right? From what I've heard, it's not entirely like that necessary. You can get away without doing it. There is potential to increase your physique by like 5% or to decrease it by like 10. So it's a little bit risky, but I think I have a good plan. We've tested a couple things out here and given ourselves enough time to adjust based on how my body reacts in the first couple of days of the car. Regardless, let's go over the peaking plan. So this entire week we have a different sort of meal plan than what we've been doing before, right? The goal with peak week is specifically to deplete your body of glycogen, right? And water if you really think you need to, and then go from there and increase your carbs, increase your glycogen, get your muscles to hold on to a bunch of size and water right before the show so you look your biggest, you look your leanest, right? It doesn't really help from my understanding. Obviously, this is my first show, so I don't entirely know how my body's going to fully react to this, but we've done some testing. If you're not lean enough, it's not going to really help, but the leaner you are, the better you can look, right? So at maximum, I'm looking to try and get a 5% increase to my physique. But at worst, what I could end up doing is damaging my overall physique by up to like 10%, right? So this is a really risky procedure if you make it too complicated, I think. So we're keeping it relatively simple for me, right? Especially as a natural athlete, right? Your body doesn't hold on to things the same way that an enhanced athlete's going to. So we don't have to worry too much about water retention, sodium, all that kind of stuff, especially at the amateur level that I'm competing at. We just want to improve our physique as best as we can and make sure that we're nice and full come show day, right? So the basic plan, the basic outline, right? Saturday, we were still eating at 1,400 calories, right? That was turkey, like ground turkey, 99% lean. What we've been eating for the entire prep, we're going to keep eating because we don't want to upset our stomach at all. That is the worst thing that could happen, is if we start getting bloated and start upsetting our stomach. So we need to keep our foods fast digesting and something that we're used to. So for me, that's back to 99% lean ground turkey and Greek yogurt, right? So that's pretty much the majority of what I eat is that 99% lean ground turkey, fat-free Greek yogurt, right, mixed with some sugar-free syrup, right? I'm not super concerned about the sodium intake right now. It'll be more of an interesting thing to pay attention to as we're actually carbing up and manipulating water just a little bit. But right now, not really that big of an issue, right? And then I am loading fats with peanut butter pretty much. So all I'll have is like fat-free salsa, some hot sauce, sugar-free syrup, and like that fat-free hot sauce and or salsa and all that kind of stuff goes on the turkey. Sugar-free syrup goes on the yogurt, and then I'll have like I think right now it is 6 tablespoons of peanut butter that is sugar-free, so low carb, higher protein, a little higher calories somehow. I don't really understand how that works, but it is what it is. It's fine. More fat, more protein. Pretty much trying to keep carbs literally as low as we possibly can for the 4 first days of the peak week, right? So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, which is today, and Tuesday, which is tomorrow. The thing we're going to be doing over each day is increasing the peanut butter by 2 tablespoons. So yesterday I had 1600 calories, right? And I had 8 tablespoons of peanut butter. Today I'll have 10 tablespoons, tomorrow I'll have 12. And so today's 1800 calories, tomorrow is 2000 calories, right? And then the peak week meals are going to be a little bit more interesting, like the actual carb up meals. So we want to keep potassium and sodium at a 1-to-1, right? What that entails is it's going to be potatoes primarily, right? And pineapple, right? Those are going to be 2 of my main sources of carbs, right? So every day it's going to be about 600 grams of potato and 600 grams of pineapple on Wednesday, right? And then 200 grams of Cocoa Krispies, which I'm super excited for. 600 grams of Greek yogurt, again, keeping it something that I like to digest. I'm very good with lactose, so I'll keep doing that, as well as some casein protein powder to slowly digest that over the course of the day, right? So that's going to be pretty exciting. That's pretty much where all my protein is coming from, keeping it relatively low fat. Still going to do the whole peanut butter thing with probably around 4 tablespoons that day, just to keep the carbs flowing into the muscle, because you need fat to get the carbs into your muscle, right? And we'll adjust Thursday and Friday based on that, but this is the general outline, right, is what we're going to do on Wednesday. And based on if we think we need more carbs, we'll increase the amount that I'm eating on Thursday and Friday based on what I look like in the morning. I'm sure you will see that if you stick around for the rest of this video and you get to closer to the end when we're actually doing that. But for now, right, you're just going to have to bear with me, and I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do, but it might actually change. You never know. You have to be flexible with your peak week, right? Is what I understand from all the research I've been doing, right? And so we're going to do that, the Cocoa Krispies, honey, and rice cakes, right? Easy digesting carbs, fast digesting carbs, and high potassium like intake carbs, right? And then with the potatoes, obviously we're going to add some sodium with some salt and try and keep that around the same level. For water is really interesting as a natural, because you don't hold on to water differently. So with an enhanced athlete, they're going to have to do a lot of manipulation with water due to the steroids, right? They make you hold on to water and make you look very bloated, right? But for a natural like me, it's not nearly as necessary to manipulate water. What I am probably going to end up doing is something just pretty simple, like water intake monitoring, right? So for every gram of carb, just try and get around 3 grams of water. Not that big of a deal. Just try and keep it as needed, right? Keep it enough to fill the muscle, because you need the water to fill the muscle, but you don't want too much water that you just look a little watered out, right? And so we're going to increase water intake today, Monday, and Tuesday tomorrow, and then cut water intake, not really, just only intake the amount of water that we think is necessary based on the amount of carbs, right? So pretty much I'm just going to be drinking water how I feel, right? And not really worrying about it too much. And so that's pretty much the overall plan. I'm really excited. We're looking pretty good. So let's get to the physique update. See you later. We are back with a physique update. So today is Monday, right? So what, 5 days out from the show? Isn't that crazy? So close, yet it feels so far away. I'm so excited to finally hop on stage. But so we're pretty dry and depleted as according to plan. We're barely eating any carbs, mostly just filling up with fats and protein. The striations are in, especially in this really crazy good lighting, right? The legs, the cuts are in there. You guys will get to see the physique update right after this, so stick around for that. But we're looking really good. I'm really happy with the posing practice that I've made. I didn't do any update on Sunday, unfortunately, because honestly, I just wanted to relax. It was Easter. I didn't do anything for Easter. I just kind of did cardio with my buddies while they hit legs and talk shit. And we just did posing practice, right? So a lot of work has been going into the posing in these past couple days because it's a lot easier to go through your poses and adjust things when you have someone standing right next to you in person to critique you on what works and what doesn't, rather than just recording yourself and then doing it over and over again. But the posing definitely looks really nice right now. I'm excited for you guys to see that. It's going to be the same video. It's going to be filmed vertically because I'm too lazy to do it again. That is going to be uploaded as a short as one of the weekly updates. So go check those out if you haven't already. But it's exciting. We're getting closer and closer. But after this, we'll start eating some food because I'm really hungry, obviously, 1 week out. And I haven't eaten anything and it's noon, right? So Alrighty, so for meal number 1, we have got 8 ounces weighed raw of ground turkey seasoned with garam masala and turmeric and all that good stuff because I'm not skipping out on seasoning, right? You can't skip out on seasoning. I don't care if it has extra calories and sodium, it'll make me hold more water. Nah, I don't give a shit, man. Like, seasoning's good, and this tastes really good as well because I seasoned it properly. You should season your food. I've got 2 servings of fat-free salsa, so that's about 20 calories added on top. A serving of diced tomatoes, that's 25 calories added on top. And then 10 grams of mango habanero hot sauce, which is 10 calories, right? I account for everything whenever I like add sauces and all that kind of stuff. It can really sneak up on you, especially if you're in a very crazy sort of diet like I was in. You get used to counting your sauces because they will add up, right? And so it's very important to not to discount that kind of stuff because you might be eating 100 to 200 calories more than you thought you were. But I'm really going to enjoy this, and then I'll see you later for the next meal. What's up, buddy? Alrighty, we're back with meal number 2. Pretty much just 300 grams of Chobani non-fat Greek yogurt, because Chobani non-fat Greek yogurt is the only one so far that I've found that actually has 0 fat. And basically just pure protein and a little bit of carbs. Honestly, I could have done with like higher fat Greek yogurt just to increase my fats for the fat loading, but I decided that I'd rather have the volume for this meal and just have more peanut butter because peanut butter is what I've been craving. And if I can fit a craving into my meal plan, I'm going to do that, even if it's lower volume. But over the course of the day, I'm going to be having around, I think, 5 servings of peanut butter today. And then 6 tomorrow. Obviously, we're really fat loading right now, increasing the calories to get our bodies like ready for the carb up, and then cutting carbs pretty much completely right now. Other than that, there's some sugar-free syrup in here, which is basically 0 calories. It's around 10 calories worth inside of here. Very high volume meal for what it is. Basically a dessert. It's really good. I really love this. I'm not sensitive to lactose at all because I'm Indian, so this settles fine in my stomach and I'll be fine. But if you are sensitive to lactose, I'd highly recommend not doing this on your peak week because you do not want to be backed up in the stomach. But the next 2 meals after this are going to be the same thing as these first 2 meals, so I'm not going to be really showing them at all. We'll probably check in tomorrow morning to see how the physique's looking 4 days out. But other than that, the next time we're going to be looking at some meals is going to be during the actual carb up. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited. So stick around for that. Alrighty, we're back. 3 days out from the actual show. So today's the first day of carbing up. So last night, I just drank a lot of water. So my body starts flushing that out. And then today, we're going to monitor our water intake just a little bit, try and keep it as low as we can. Overall, just try and match it with the amount of carbs we're eating, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter a huge amount for me because my body stores water pretty normally because I'm natural. But if you're an enhanced athlete, then peak week is obviously going to look a little bit different. But for me, it's not that bad. But I get to eat carbs today. I'm super excited for that. I'm about to go get a haircut, so I'm gonna get that show day haircut, get that like nice little fade on the side, make me look a little bit leaner. Because you got to pull out all the stops if you want to win, right? You know. So we're about to go do that. Not gonna do well. I'm about to do the check-in for the day, but we're looking pretty flat. We're looking very flat. But the fat loading is definitely helping. It's making the muscles pop just a little bit more, right? But at the end of the day, depriving myself of carbs for so long, obviously it's going to look pretty sad, but we'll see what we can pull off right now. I'm also a little bit more hydrated because of the water I drank last night, but it's starting to flush out. So tomorrow morning, that's when things are going to start getting a little crazy. After the haircut, I'm going to hit a quick little fasted workout, and then we'll get started with the meal. Alright, haircut done, looking really good. I'm really happy with it. Definitely need to style it a little bit, but that'll come tomorrow after I take a shower. I couldn't be bothered right now. But just hit a quick little back workout, just get some blood pumping, nothing super intense or anything like that. Finally, it's noon. I'm so hungry, and I'm gonna get to cook up some carbs and start actually carbing up for the show. I'm so excited. But those Indian snacks and sweets are really tempting me right now. Unfortunately, I can't dig into any of them. I gotta watch the digestion. Keeping the carbs with something that I can easily digest. Those are very heavy in fat and carbs, so I don't really want to eat those right now because they might end up bloating me on stage, and that is the last thing I want, to destroy everything I've done for the past 16 weeks in just a day or two. So I can wait 3 days until my show's over, and then I can eat those snacks. But they really are tempting me, and it really sucks, but we're going to keep an upbeat attitude and enjoy the carbs that we do have, because we are absolutely blessed to be in this situation, to be able to do this kind of thing, to be able to look forward to food after the show and all that kind of stuff. So I'll see you for meal number 1. So we just got a shipment from the motherland. Unfortunately, I can't touch any of this stuff until after Saturday, and it is going to haunt me. And these last 3 days, even though I'm getting to carb up, might be the hardest of the entire prep. Alright, meal number 1. We are having 100 grams of Cocoa Krispies, 300 grams of non-fat Greek yogurt, and a scoop of vanilla casein powder. I am so excited for this meal. I am salivating just looking at it, honestly. It's been so long since I've had some proper chocolate. So I'm going to absolutely demolish that. It's about 95 grams of carbs, so we're going to drink around probably 150 milliliters of water to 200 milliliters of water. I already had some water this morning with my workout, so we're going to keep it a little bit lower for this meal. But after that, we're going to start matching the water with the carbs for every single meal. Alrighty, so for meal 2, your boy chefed up some nice potatoes, right? These are Yukon Gold potatoes. I think they are a lot nicer when you air fry them than the russet potatoes, and they're a lot easier to clean. They're nice and soft. But I put some nice red chili powder on there and about a bit of salt, right? Because we want to keep our potassium and our sodium on a 1-to-1 right now is our whole goal, because that'll probably be the best way to keep ourselves nice and dry for the actual show. There's no point in really manipulating sodium again as a natural. It's not that big of a deal. So we're just going to keep it at a 1-to-1, just try and monitor it. And then along with that, we are having a whole can of pineapples. These I'm really excited for, definitely. I might not eat the whole can right now, but 600 grams of potatoes, that's 300. What I just showed you, I'm going to cook the rest of it later, but I'm going to split these meals probably into 2. I just wanted to show you what I was going to actually end up eating throughout the next couple hours, and then we'll see you for the next meal, which will be closer to bedtime. But for now, I'm going to go edit some more videos so I can get some more content out for you guys. See you later. Alrighty, so we are back with the next meal. This is the same meal as the first meal. It's just the 300 grams of Chobani Greek yogurt, a scoop of casein protein powder, and 100 grams of Cocoa Krispies. So this one tasted really good. I was in heaven while I was eating this. I was having an ethereal experience with the first one, so I'm probably going to have another ethereal experience pretty soon here. It really does feel amazing to eat something like this after not eating something like this for so long and depriving myself for the past almost 16 weeks now. But I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna really enjoy this. I did, before we start, want to talk about some things. So definitely have been feeling a lot of vascularity increase throughout the day. Definitely feel a lot more full, a lot better. One thing I have been eating with these meals that I forgot to mention with the first meal was that I am having that 1 serving of peanut butter, because fats will help you your muscles absorb that glycogen from the carbs better. So definitely trying to make sure with my heaviest carb meal to have that, right? And then also I have it off to the side, 300 grams of water pretty much with this meal. Just trying to keep 1-to-1, 1 gram of carb, 3.3 grams of water. Just keep it to a minimum. Don't need too much, don't need too little, right? Because too little means I don't fill up. Too much means I end up looking watery, which isn't really that big of a concern. I mean, I probably won't end up looking that watery as I'm natural and not like on any enhancing substances that'll make me hold on to water differently. So I'll probably look fine, honestly. I am maybe doing a bit too much, but it's like not that much more effort to be a little bit more precise. And I mean, I spent all this time and effort dieting down for this, so I might as well push my limits and do my best. Alrighty, last meal of the day. So, still have some of the pineapples left over from earlier, so I put them on some rice cakes, and we've got about 60 grams of honey total. There were 2 more rice cakes, so 6 total. I ate them already because I wanted to be able to fit it on the plate, and also I was really hungry. So, but overall, not feeling nearly as hungry as I have been previously. Obviously, I've eaten a lot more calories today than I have eaten in the entire prep, actually. Like, even week 16, I was eating less calories than I have today. I think we're around 2,800, 2,900 today total, which is fine. Hopefully we don't spill over. We'll see tomorrow, but that is a lot more than how much I started the prep with, and should be a little above maintenance, but not enough to really matter too much. At least that's what I'm hoping, but we'll see tomorrow in the check-in. So I will see you in the morning. All right, we're back in business. So we're 2 days out now. Isn't that crazy? So, all right, we are back in business. 2 days out from the first ever bodybuilding show. I am so excited. I feel so full in my muscles right now. We did a perfect job yesterday filling up, but also not holding on to too much water. So I am perfectly, the amount of water that I'm holding on to is perfect. I haven't spilled over at all. So we're going to keep the carbs the same. We're going to just keep doing what we did yesterday, today, and probably look pretty crazy on Friday. So before we do this check-in and I show you how phenomenal I'm looking, I'm actually going to pump up for this one a little bit, even though I'm fasted, because part of the plan is to see how much food we actually need on Saturday to keep ourselves nice and pumped up. And I'm thinking I'm probably going to need some food, so that's why I'm fasted right now, and it's about 10:30, 11:30, so that's when the showtime starts for men's. So due to that, we need to make sure that I can actually pump up and I don't eat too much food during the show, so I don't get watery during the day, because on show day you really want to make sure that you don't overconsume your carbs, trying to make sure that you can pump up and then spill over in the later parts of the presentation, right? But I want to look crisp, I want to look my best. I'm looking phenomenal right now. I could definitely do with a little bit more fullness, obviously, but that'll come with carbing up these next couple of days, as long as I make sure that I don't deplete my glycogen too much, right? We're gonna still hit a workout today, just very light, just to get some blood flowing again, like glycogen. Try and keep that as high as possible, because we don't want to deplete everything that we just carbed up with, because it's going to be harder to fill that back in after not being in a depleted state beforehand, right? But everything's looking really good. I'm really excited. This is going to be the last day of this vlog, and then the next video is going to be the actual show day, fun stuff and everything like that. So stick around, subscribe, check that video out when it comes out, and I will see you for the check-in.